This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
Well, good morning. Happy Sunday. We're waking up with that classic look at the St. Louis Arch and two exciting updates. One, it's October 1st. Can't believe it. That also means the display lights will be back on each night at the Arch. They were off while birds migrated south for the winter. And two, the Arch Museum, grounds, and tours will continue to stay open. They would have shut down if the government hadn't passed a last-minute funding bill. We'll have more on that in just a moment. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Sunday, October 1st. I'm Mercedes McKay. Travis Cummings and Tracy Hansen have the day off, so weather first meteorologist Jim Castillo is here with us today. And Jim,
yeah, good to see you.
When's the last time you had to do this early shift?
Well, you know what? I think the weekday mornings a few weeks ago. Yeah, but good to see you.
You got
and
it.
Congrats on this position.
Oh, thank you. We're having fun, so we're happy to have you here.
Yeah, good.
Well, October 1st.
Can't believe it. Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone feels the same way I do. I've been sweating.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like October.
No, it's hot. It's hot. It's going to stay hot all the way through Tuesday. And even this morning, you know, it's a really warm morning out there, and we continue to see areas of fog along especially the Missouri River this morning. But just checking out the other areas from downtown St. Louis all the way through really Cuba, Missouri and Highland, Illinois, it is clear. And then, of course, the Cardinals play at 2:15. It's going to be a hot game, but really a nice afternoon for baseball. No rain at all. 86 degrees for that temperature at about 2 p.m., 88 for 4 o'clock. So, of course, what we're looking at is high pressure situated right over West Virginia, and it spins around clockwise, actually. High pressure spins this way, and it's bringing in more of that southerly wind. We have to get a front in here to break this thing down. It's not going to happen until late Wednesday and into Thursday, with a chance of showers and storms Wednesday night, and then a chance of showers on Thursday. And you won't believe how chilly it's going to be as we get toward this weekend coming up. 64 degrees right now, and look at these highs today. 88 in St. Louis, Pittsfield 89. So some of us could hit 90. We hit 90 yesterday. And of course, that weekend forecast coming up. Mercedes, how about 60s for highs? I'll talk more about that in just a bit.
Love that, Jim. Bearer of good news. Well, right now across America, many are breathing a sigh of relief. Congress approved a temporary spending bill to keep the U.S. government open until the holidays. That means federal employees in the bi-state, like TSA and air traffic controllers at Lambert, as well as the special agents in our local FBI office, will keep getting paid. Here's a picture right here behind me of President Biden signing it into law just 30 minutes before that deadline. NBC's Alice Barr explains how Congress came to a compromise at the 11th hour.
Motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
With 3 hours to spare before a midnight shutdown deadline, unexpected relief in the halls of Congress.
I have very good news for the country. Democrats and Republicans have come to an agreement, and the government will remain open.
The bill is passed.
The Senate passing a short-term funding deal that came together in the House at the last minute to prevent a government shutdown. Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy defying hard-right members of his own party by putting a bill on the floor that extends government funding for 45 days without adding spending cuts or new border security policies. It passed with more Democratic votes than Republican.
When are you guys going to get over that it's all right that you put America first? That it's all right if Republicans and Democrats join together to do what is right?
The move could push conservative hardliners to follow through on their threats to try and kick McCarthy out of the Speaker's job.
If somebody wants to make a motion against me, bring it. There has to be an adult in the room.
One Democratic senator initially objected to the deal because it does not include funding for Ukraine, but leadership is promising to take that up separately.
I'm confident the Senate will pass further urgent assistance to Ukraine later this year.
Urgent priorities yet to be resolved, with 45 days to go until the next shutdown deadline. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
You'll notice Speaker McCarthy said, if anyone wants to make a motion against me, bring it. For some time now, there have been Republicans calling for him to be removed as Speaker, but no action has been made and there's no clear candidate to replace him. New from overnight, an incident at the Quick Trip gas station on Lindbergh and Hazelwood. It happened late last night. These images on your screen show a police presence and crime scene tape. A witness tells us she heard about 10 rounds of gunfire go off. Quick Trip tells us none of their employees were hurt. Right now, we're waiting on word back from police. This morning, the evacuation order is no longer in effect in Effingham County. It went into effect after 5 people were killed in a crash. Right now, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency is investigating. Our Diamond Palmer reports from Teutopolis.
State, federal, and local agencies are all here in Effingham to help out for the ammonia leak that happened. The semi-truck that crashed happened in between Montrose and Effingham, and officials say that 500 people were displaced from their homes and evacuated until they are given the all clear.
First off, the families and all those affected have our deepest sympathy.
Saturday morning, officials near and far held a press conference to inform residents about the semi-truck crash in Teutopolis. It was carrying 7,500 gallons of hazardous chemicals. Teutopolis sits nearly 100 miles from St. Louis. Officials say the tanker ruptured as a result of the crash. Shortly after, crews arrived on the scene to patch the leak.
But they got the majority of it, so it did leak through the night and then most of the day today.
Fire Chief Tim McMahon says the tanker contained anhydrous ammonia chemicals. Evacuation happened from Pearl Street to Teutopolis along Route 40 to 2100 North Road in a 2-mile radius.
And we spent a lot of time today trying to come up with a plan to offload it, and we finally had a company come down from up north.
Chief McMahon says the risk of hazardous chemicals in the air is a problem.
It gets in your lungs and burns your lungs almost immediately.
Illinois State Representative Adam Niemerg, who represents the area, believes the crash could have been prevented.
There's been many accidents on Interstate 70, and what happens is you have traffic that gets routed on US 40 right through Teutopolis here. And unfortunately, a lot of folks are a little upset because they felt that this type of thing would happen eventually.
The names and ages of the 5 fatalities have not been given out yet because these families are grieving the loss of their loved ones. We are told, though, when the scene is clear, that's when the Effingham County coroner will then go in and update that number if need be. Reporting here in Teutopolis, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker shared a statement saying in part, quote, "Our hearts are with the loved ones of those affected by the car crash and chemical leak. My administration is on the ground and we will provide state support in any way we can." An urgent alert this morning from the FBI in Phelps County Jail in Rolla. This man on your screen, Jonathan Schmidt Odell, escaped the jail with another inmate late Friday night. The second escapee turned himself in, but Odell is still on the run. He was in custody for serious allegations, including conspiracy to shoot immigrants and U.S. officers at the Mexico border. Do not approach him if you see him. Instead, call 911 immediately. This morning, we're working to learn more about another death at the St. Louis Justice Center. Officials say that around 2 yesterday morning, detainee Juwan Carter had a medical emergency. He went to the hospital where he later died. Right now, we don't know what led to that death. He's the 3rd jail detainee to die since the end of August. That comes on the heels of some detainees taking a guard hostage. The guard is now okay. Well, it's not the hottest it's been all year, but we all feel that it's definitely warmer than what you'd expect fall to be. The almost 90-degree temperatures caused heat exhaustion at a high school event yesterday. Officials say more than 24 high school students had to be treated for heat-related symptoms at the Marching Band Festival in Arnold. 3 teens were taken to the hospital. Our Jim Castillo will give us an update on how hot it will be today in just a few minutes. This morning, it's day 17 of the United Auto Workers strike. As the strike goes on, consumers will start to feel the impact. Right now, dealerships and repair shops are stocking up on parts. Experts say consumers may wait longer and pay more as supplies dwindle. But UAW President Shawn Fain joined the Toledo picket line yesterday, saying the union is ready to expand and maintain the strike as long as they need to.
Just like the Jeep they make, it's one of the most rugged vehicles that's ever been made. Yes. It was there during World War II, and it's been there ever since. And these workers are just like that Jeep. They'll stand here and they will be here till the end. You're not going to beat them.
Morale remains pretty high in Wentzville, too. As people drive by, they're still honking to show their support. New this morning, the Powerball jackpot is still up for grabs. Nobody matched all 6 numbers in last night's drawing. Right now, the jackpot is approaching, listen to this, $1.04 billion. That's the 2nd highest jackpot this year. The next drawing is tomorrow night. Well, today it's officially spooky season in Eureka. Hard to believe. The annual Scarecrow Festival is underway. So you can find this interactive map on the festival's website. It gives you an idea of where the Scarecrow displays are. So if I just even click this one, you can find this on your website. That's where the I obviously picked a Scarecrow that I can't pronounce the name, but really easy to figure out. Jim's laughing at me. You'll mainly find them along Central and Dreyer Avenues. The Scarecrows will be up through the end of the month. Well, today a special guest is in St. Louis. Amal, the traveling 12-foot puppet, will perform at the Arch. She's called One Little Girl for One Big Hope and represents a 10-year-old Syrian refugee. Amal is on a walking tour of the U.S., spreading a message of empathy and understanding for refugees and immigrants. One of 37 cities selected. St. Louis has a history of welcoming immigrants through the International Institute, the St. Louis Mosaic Project, and more.
It's going to be welcoming this puppet, which is really a 10-year-old Syrian refugee young lady to our city, as really a symbol of hope and humanity to do a call to action for our city in a discussion about immigration and refugees.
You can see Amal in person today at the Arch at 12:30. Well, also happening today, Forest Park is going vegan. It's the 5th annual St. Louis Veg Fest at the World's Fair Pavilion. From 10 to 5, you can check out presentations on plant-based diets and enjoy 100% vegan snacks. There will also be yoga classes and a kids' corner. Well, we've been saying it all morning. It is October 1st, and that means the holidays will be here sooner than you think. Now, if you're planning to or thinking about traveling this November or December, NBC News Now's Noah Pransky has some tips.
Holidays are great. Breaking the bank over the holidays is not. So I've got 3 under-the-radar travel hacks for you to help you save money. 1 if you've yet to book, 1 if you've already booked, and 1 tip for everyone in case a future flight you take happens to get delayed. First, if you're looking at future travel, right now is a pretty great time to snag a bargain. And you may want to save this cheat sheet. Domestic flights are usually cheapest 6 to 8 weeks before departure, which puts us right about now for Thanksgiving flights. For Christmas time, you want to plan a little further out, 8 to 11 weeks according to Google, which puts you about mid-October. And international flights, you want to plan even further out if possible. Oh, and how about 1 bonus tip from 1 very frequent flyer?
I'm Brian Kelly, founder of thepointsguy.com. I use Google Flights. You can look by calendar search, and being flexible by 1 or 2 days can save you dramatically.
Okay, now the travel hack airlines don't want you to know about if you've already booked your ticket. With prices close to their lowest point in 18 months, you can ask for a rebate if the price has gone down since you've booked. Now, it depends on the airline and the kind of ticket you booked, but even if you can't get cash back, it's worth asking. Many airlines will give you travel vouchers for the difference. Psst, this repricing trick, it works for hotels too. So check back in on those advanced bookings. And finally, with delays happening more and more at U.S. airports, there may be a way to get reimbursed for any surprise costs you incur related to delays.
You know, the airlines legally are not obligated to give you compensation, but your credit cards will, and that's what most consumers don't realize. So if you're delayed for a long time, flight cancellations, always ask your credit card company to reimburse the hotel, the rental car, and all those extra fees.
Not to mention the meals, clothes, and toiletries you may have to buy if you get stranded for a long time. Because aren't the holidays stressful enough? I know I sleep better even after a long, terrible travel day if I've saved a few bucks. Now hopefully you can too.
Great tips. We all want to save a few bucks for the holiday travel.
Always.
I know I've already booked my Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I'm going to New York around Christmas, so I've booked that as well.
Look at you.
First time I've ever been. I'm so excited. Well, I've been to New York, but not around Christmas.
Around Christmas. I get it.
Magical.
Yes, it is. And you'll have to see all the trees and decorations.
Everything. My best friend lives there and she was like, what do you want to do? I said, all I want to do is walk around New York with the Rockefeller oak tree, lighting the streets, and just a little hot chocolate and a big coat. I said, I don't need anything else.
Nice.
We'll go to a few Broadway shows though too.
Absolutely.
We're planning
I
it,
lived
though.
there for 6 years, so I saw every season and every, it was 6 years of New York City. That was enough.
I'm jealous. that was enough. Well, speaking of
Yes.
the airport, if people are traveling out today, should it be an easy day?
Looks great, looks great. Even in New York City, they had the issues with some flooding problems over the past couple of days. I'll show you that coastal low is pushing away. So current visibility, hey, some of us have a little bit of fog this morning, a quarter-mile visibility at Washington, Missouri, along the Missouri River. Perryville, 1 3/4 mile visibility. So there's some fog out there. It all disappears really quickly by about 9 a.m. if you have it in your area right now. But downtown St. Louis is free of fog, and that sun is going to rise at 6:57 this morning. A really beautiful start to the day. Current temperatures, hey, the dew points went down, so then the temperatures were allowed to go down a little bit further this morning, so some drier air coming in, and we're at 55 DeSoto, 57 for Chesterfield, Alton coming in at 57 degrees, and 61 in Sullivan, so some really nice numbers. Now, this afternoon, like Mercedes was talking about, it is going to be a hot day, so take it easy. We're near 90 again throughout the entire area. It is sunny, and so if you're headed to the game, make sure you bring a hat with you. So the Cardinals, of course, play 86 degrees at 2 o'clock, 88 as we get into 4 o'clock, and that game starts at 2:15. All right, around Kansas City, a little shower, thunderstorm popped up northwest Missouri, but high pressure's right here. And as it spins clockwise, it brings in more of a southerly wind. And thank goodness the dew points dropped a little bit because they were really high as we went into yesterday. Storm activity up here around the UP of Michigan, and then, of course, that coastal low around New York City. They gave them massive flooding and that record rainfall near 8 inches at JFK, the most they've ever seen in a day throughout the area. But now that's pushing off along the eastern seaboard there and away from the coast. The west is a little on the stormy side. It's cooler out here. Eventually that does head our way. So the upper level pattern, we're stuck in this huge area of high pressure that goes way up into Canada. So it's warm to hot and very dry. But as we get into Wednesday, a front comes our way, and here's the future cast temperatures. Watch the blue come in here as we get into Wednesday night and into Thursday. And this weekend's high temperatures, yeah, it's going to be a big change. We're going to be into fall. It's going to feel like it, but 88 Sunday, that's today. Monday 89, Tuesday 90, 85 Wednesday. Chance of showers and storms later in the day. And then Thursday 74, but 60s for lows. A good chance of rain in the morning hours as we get into Friday 71 and Mercedes 62 by next weekend, and overnight lows in the 40s.
Music to my ears. I'm staring at that 62
You
with
ready
delight.
for that? Okay.
I'm ready for it. Sweater weather. Thank you, Jim. Well, today you can satisfy your sweet tooth and support Backstoppers at the same time. The 8th annual bake sale for Backstoppers in honor of Blake Snyder will be held from 3 to 7 this afternoon at Firehouse 1. Backstoppers raises money for the families of first responders and law enforcement officers killed or seriously injured in the line of duty. Also today, a lot going on this weekend. Runners will complete a 5-day, 300-mile relay race to support the Veterans Community Project. It started at the VCP's Tiny House Village in Kansas City, and it will end at the new one here in St. Louis. Both villages provide transitional housing for homeless veterans. The St. Louis Village will welcome its first residents this week. This morning at 10, the St. Louis community will walk 2 miles to stomp out addiction. The walk hopes to raise awareness for substance use disorders, and money from the walk will support Prevent Ed. Registration starts at 8:30 at Faith Oakville on Telegraph Road. This morning, there's a new memorial at Dred Scott's grave in St. Louis. The monument is meant to be a more fitting remembrance of the man who changed the course of U.S. history. I headed out to Calvary Cemetery yesterday to learn more at the dedication.
We are here to give tribute to the life, legacy, and victories of a man who could have, like so many others of notable calling and character, been lost to us and to history.
A 9-foot monument etched with scripture, Bible verses, and a picture of the man who changed our country now sits where a 2-foot-tall headstone once was.
It has evolved from a simple grave marker, something often withheld from the graves of the enslaved, to a place for commemoration and contemplation.
For 66 years, that's all Dred Scott had in this St. Louis cemetery, a modest grave site.
Slavery was a stain on this country that affected everyone. no matter race, creed, or color.
His descendants believed that wasn't enough for a man whose name is synonymous with the Supreme Court decision that denied his bid for freedom in 1857.
Our ancestors lived the American nightmare so that we can live the American dream.
The Dred Scott Heritage Foundation says the former slave's grave is among the top 3 most visited sites at the Calvary Cemetery. They believe this new memorial will allow people to truly reflect on Scott's legacy in American history.
We celebrate the life of a man who willingly placed himself in harm's way. A man who paved the way for change. Change that improved the lives of others.
While many gathered Saturday to focus on the past, they also addressed the present with the belief for a brighter future.
Our hope is that this memorial will ever stand as a tribute to the desire for freedom manifested.
2 weeks from now, on October 14th, they'll reveal a new headstone for Scott's wife, Harriet. Well, today you can embrace the new season at Assumption Parish's annual Fall Fest in O'Fallon, Missouri. There will be hay rides, games, food, drinks, and music. It's one of the parish's largest fundraisers of the year. You can check it out today from 11 to 6. Zootoberfest also continues today at the St. Louis Zoo. You can enjoy German-inspired food and drinks inside the zoo, plus tons of fun activities for kids. That runs 10 to 4 this weekend and next. You've probably heard the phrase, patience is a virtue, and many in Mylou are grinding every day, focused on the day they get their big break. Well, one local comedian's endurance is finally paying off. Rennie Knott shows us how 2023 could be his year.
For the first time in years, Rafe Williams is working a day job.
It's such an institution, it's really cool.
He's one of the newest members of the Rizzuto Show.
I feel like I walked onto the Yankees a little bit.
He joined the show back in April.
Will she not be last?
An emotional hire following the loss of the late Jeff Burton.
Jeff was a friend. I love Jeff Burton. I had impossible shoes to fill. I'm just going to work hard, keep my head down, and try to be funny and come in with try to shoot a few joke lasers here and there.
We know a guy, so we're letting you know about our guy.
As a comedian, comedy is what he brings to the radio.
Having to be funny at 6 o'clock in the morning is way different.
He had to adjust.
I'm having to be a little more disciplined than a comedian likes to be.
But he hasn't given up on his stand-up.
You kind of have to be doing it all the time to stay at the top of your game.
Rafe is finally launching his special on YouTube.
I shot this special about a year and some change ago.
Young Grandpa, a humorous yet honest look at his life.
The thread throughout the special is me being a 36-year-old grandpa and how that affected my life. I'm a flawed man, and I'm happy to disclose that. And I think at the root of it all, we all are.
The original album came out during a not-so-funny time.
My album came out in January of 2020, and I assumed that I was personally responsible for ushering in the pandemic.
But never once did he stop pursuing.
I'm gonna look at it when we get off the air. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna see if we can math our way out of this.
Well, let us know. The new job giving him a boost.
Now I have a platform for people to discover me and find my comedy, so I'm super grateful for that.
And following the ups and the downs,
this could end up being a big deal for me.
Rafe's time,
2023 has been a lot of changes, all for the good.
May have come.
Every year I'm like, this is gonna be my year. And some years that's been true, and other years I'm like, this was just a practice year.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
At 69 and 91, the Cardinals really don't have much to play for other than pride. That didn't stop the Birds on the bat from playing their role with spoiler at Busch in a big way. The Cards came out firing the first inning. Jordan Walker is going to get a hanging breaking ball, drive it way out to left off the wall. 2 runs would come around to score on the double from Walker, and the Cardinals would put up 5 in the first inning alone. We're going to fast forward to the bottom of the second, though. 2 on, 2 out. Lars Nootbaar takes the 2-2 offering and deposits it as a souvenir in the cheap seats. Cards up 8-0 at that point. Then just a few batters later, it's going to be Jose Fermin. He's going to get a little bit of luck to go his way. The Cardinals would put up 11 runs before Cincinnati would get on the board as the Redbirds pick up their 70th win of the season by a final of 15-6. Now, the season hasn't gone as planned, but Jordan Walker is glad just to be along for the ride.
Man, it's tough up here. That's the biggest thing. These guys are good. These guys hit their spots. These guys are good at defense. Not everything's going to fall, man, but you know, I want a challenge, and I'm glad I'm up here, man. So very exciting season. That stuff I definitely know I'm going to work on in the off season, but man, for my first season, man, I had a lot of fun.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
Bragging rights were on the line at City Park as Sporting KC made the trip across the state with a playoff spot on the line. After playing to a draw in the first half, City would get things going in the 72nd minute on the free kick. Samuel Adeniran with a perfect header to give City the 1-0 lead, and they're not done yet. Just 2 minutes later, Sporting KC desperately trying to clear the ball, and Jared Stroud ends up with it, makes a defender miss, and puts the left footer past the keeper. It's 2-0 City. Then 4 minutes later, City is going to score again. This time it's Klaus connecting with the cross. The floodgates are wide open. City wins this one by a final of 4-1 to win the season series with Kansas City and remain atop the West.
To get a game, you know, with this opponent, with so much on the line, you know, what it means to the fans, what it means to everybody here individually, personally, whatever they go to is, whatever their motivations are to get it to this point, just extremely proud of the group, you know, and to call that spot our own. You know, we can't buy anything with it. We can't celebrate anything with it. There's no silverware with it, but yeah, it's there.
The Missouri Tigers continue their winning ways in Nashville thanks in part to this guy. Luther Burden III had himself a huge day in the Music City. This touchdown gave the Tigers a 24-7 lead. Then later,
our quarterback just set the all-time SEC record.
big moment there for Cook as he set the SEC record with 325 passes without an interception. Now, you're going to want to stick around tonight for Sports Plus when our sports director, Frank Cusimano, sits down with Adam Wainwright ahead of his final game. That's all for morning sports. Have a great day, St. Louis.
Okay, hold in the 5 on your side helmet because I couldn't take it off and on. But we love this story, Jim and I, because we're Swifties. So right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are in New York for tonight's game against the Jets. But for the second week in a row, football could take a backseat to the one and only Taylor Swift, naturally. Since her appearance at last week's game in Arrowhead, we've seen the internet go crazy. Heinz is creating a new sauce in her honor, and Travis Kelce jerseys are flying off the shelves. The promo even for tonight's game used Taylor Swift's Welcome to New York song. Welcome to New York. Do you know that one?
No, I don't. Anti-hero.
Oh, there you go. Right now, it's only speculation that she'll be there to cheer on Travis. You can catch the game and maybe a glimpse of Taylor right here on 5 on Your Side tonight at 7:20. Well, today, you can also try one of 4 Hands' new brews and meet a City SC player. This afternoon from 2 to 4, Tim Parker will sign autographs and do a Q&A with fans at the 4 Hands in Chesterfield at the District in honor of the Parker Pilsner. The defender helped create the Amarillo Hopped Lager.
People all the way up in the upper deck, people down here in the lower bowl, man, I love y'all so much. I'm so proud to be a St. Louis Cardinal for this long, and I'm so proud that the biggest show of my life to this point, not out there, but in music, is right here at Busch Stadium in my home. I love this place.
Oh, so cool. Last night, Adam Wainwright performed 3 new original songs after the Cardinals smoked the Reds 15-6. What more could you want? Here's one that I can really relate to. It's called Hey Y'all.
We say, hey y'all, how you been? How's your daddy and your mama and them? Y'all wanna take a ride down to the lake? Pass ahead, no time to waste.
It's amazing all the talent he has. So Wayno will release the full album in early 2023. Now today before the game, there will be a special ceremony for Adam Wainwright. His last game and the final game of the season is this afternoon at 2:15. I don't know how certain people in this world can get all the talents.
Yeah, I know.
How can he be good at baseball and he can sing?
That's as good as any country singer ever.
Right?
I mean, they're fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, love the song, too.
I know. So, hey, y'all. So,
yeah, hey, y'all.
Like we said, the Cardinals do play tonight, and I know you mentioned it earlier, but how's the game going to be weather-wise?
Yeah, well, I've got the temperatures for you. It's going to be hot and very sunny, and a little bit of an easterly and southeast breeze, but 86 at 2, 88 at 4 o'clock. So take it easy in in the heat, make sure you bring a hat to the game.
And sunscreen probably, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. That's it for our digital version of Today in St. Louis Weekend Edition. Join us here on 5 Plus or Channel 5 at 5.